Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to iReview. I'm your host, Jerry. I'm breaking down all things movies, TV shows, wrestling, or whatever the hell I want to talk about. Today, I want to talk about It. This is going to be my spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, come back, and watch this video. Alright, here we go. Now, It is based off of the Stephen King novel, It. They also did a mini, like a TV show, two-part TV show, not really TV show, I guess movie, back in the 1990s. I remember watching it as a kid. It was creepy and terrifying. Pennywise was just completely and utter creepy. Well, then this movie comes out. First off, my wife had no desire to see it. She was petrified of Pennywise when she watched it originally, and she didn't know if it was going to give her the same fear. I finally talked her into going to see it, and she actually liked it a lot. And it's due to how the movie was made. It wasn't made strictly for horror, although there was a lot of horror aspects into it. There were some parts that were lighthearted and fun, and the kids were just amazing. I mean, I actually prefer this version over the original version of it back in the 1990s. Although the book I've read several times and it's so much better. But let's jump into it. Alright, there's a town called Derry. And it's where all these adults, but most notably kids, go missing. And it happens every 27 years. Now, it basically starts off with Georgie, this little boy in the yellow raincoat. I'm sure if you've seen the trailers, you know what I'm talking about. And just to put it out there, if you haven't seen the video where they take the 1990 version trailer and the 2017 trailer of it, and they put them side by side, it is almost an exact replica of what it is, and it is amazing. And I think the marketing that went into it was phenomenal. This movie really stood out. And it's weird because, like, you hear some people go, oh, well, maybe they should adapt more Stephen King novels and make him great movies and stuff like that. Well, what people don't realize is that The Dark Tower is a Stephen King novel, and it freaking flopped at the movie theaters. A lot of people didn't really know about it unless you really know what The Dark Tower is. And so I think is what it is. The director just made a really fun, good movie, and the acting from these kids stood out above everything else. So anyway, Georgie, his brother Billy, makes him a boat. He goes outside, and he's following the boat down as it's pouring down rain. Well, that's where the boat goes down into a gutter and into the sewer, and that's where you first meet Pennywise. And Bill Skarsgård plays Pennywise, and Tim Curry played Pennywise in the original one, but Bill Skarsgård, he did a phenomenal job, and to me, he was a lot creepier than the 1990s version. But basically, Pennywise just rips Georgie's arm off, and it is graphic. And I looked at my wife, and I was like, holy shit. Like, no wonder this is an R-rated movie. So then you have this group of losers that it's called the Losers Club, and there's a group of them. There's a kid named Billy who is George's brother. He has a noticeable stutter, which kind of plays a little bit into the movie. Same with the book, like how they represent his stutter and why he has it, and how he eventually gets rid of it is very notable. Then there's Ben. He's this chubby little kid who's very knowledgeable about Derry. He moves there, and he has no friends, so he spends his whole time researching Derry and understanding that, oh wow, there's a whole pattern of every 27 years bad things happen, and it's all linked to Pennywise basically. Then there's Richie, who, if you recognize Richie, he played in Stranger Things. If you haven't seen it, I did a video a little bit on Stranger Things 2 that's coming out. You should go back and watch that. But he is phenomenal. And these kids, they throw a lot of F words out. A lot of different things. They're actually hilarious. I think that's what made my wife actually like the movie, was because the humor that went behind it and how kids actually talk back in the day, and different outfits and stuff like that. It was good. Then there's Mike. He's basically the notable black guy that's in the film, and he plays actually a bigger part because it falls a little bit into racism for Henry, who's a psycho bully that picks on him. Like, his dad had problems with Mike's dad in the book, also in the movie, and the racism just goes down from his dad being the sheriff down to Henry, who's the psycho kid who just doesn't like black people, and basically he doesn't like anyone. Like, he's straight up an utter psychopath. Then you have Stanley, who basically his mom is quite a little, she's a weirdo. Like, she's feeding him medicine, making him believe that he's sick all the time, and all this stuff, so that way he never leaves her. And it's a little weird, to be honest with you. But basically, all these kids start seeing different things, seeing Pennywise, seeing different things that fear them, that they fear, because that's what Pennywise is. He feeds on your fear. So once they realize that all this stuff is going on, they're trying to tell people, no one wants to believe them. Everybody's just accepting, which I think is weird. I mean, everybody's just accepting that, yeah, all these kids are going missing, it's fine, it's whatever. It's weird. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, there's a girl part of the Losers Club. Her name's Beverly Marsh. She, to me, was one of the standouts of the movie. She basically is being molested by her dad. I mean, that's the implication that they were putting out, and that she's being molested by her dad, who is just a complete and utter creepo, along with a lot of other people that are a bunch of creeps. So basically, Billy is trying to find his brother, and he enlists in the help of the Losers Club too. And as they go through, they gain Ben, who's being bullied. They gain Mike, who's also being bullied. And the club keeps growing bigger, and as they grow bigger, their fear basically subsides. They realize they can't be really scared anymore because of all this bad stuff that's happening to them. They realize it's only as real as they make it. So once they realize that, yes, it's not real, and it's as real as they think it is in their head, then they realize they have no fear. And it basically takes away from the power of Pennywise. But in the movie, they do a phenomenal job with character development, understanding who these characters are. You really get behind them. And when things happen to them, you're just like, oh man, I want to get behind these kids. And Pennywise, you get behind him, not because like you want to see him succeed, but you get behind him because he's a notable villain. Like, he is scary and creepy, and he's just, it's graphic. So basically it ends with, the whole line from the first one, from the book, to this one is, you will float. Basically, once Pennywise, he basically takes you, you're floating, and he feeds on your fear. That's how he survives. So it's like in essence, it's like a bear in hibernation. He stocks up on food, and then throughout the winter, he's able to survive. That's basically how Pennywise is. He stalks up on kids and adults and everything, and he feeds on their fear and feeds on them for 27 years. Then he comes back. Now, obviously, this ends with Pennywise sort of getting away, and he basically goes into his hibernation sleep. And they make a pact that in 27 years, when he comes back, that if he does come back, that they will come back and finish him off. And if you've read the book or seen the other movie, the other TV movie, then you know that he does come back 27 years from now, and they all come back as adults, and they take care of him then. But, I mean, if you didn't get it, that because it literally says it chapter 1 at the end, that there's going to be a chapter 2. If you stay after the credits, you'll see it pops up, and then you'll hear Pennywise start laughing again, basically stating, hey, I'm coming back. But it is a phenomenal movie. To me, I really, really enjoyed it. I've seen a lot of people hate on it, and I think maybe the reason why people are hating on the movie is because either they never read the book, or they're watching the original, and maybe because you might be older and it was so beloved that you're just like, oh, it's never going to match up. Kind of like how Carrie didn't really match up with the original Carrie. Although I really enjoyed the new Carrie. Obviously, the old one was better. Me, personally, I really enjoyed this one over the older version of it. But that's why film is so... That's what makes film goers so amazing, is that you have your own opinion about it, and no one's really right and no one's really wrong. So, I see a lot of people hating on the movie and stuff like that, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. I personally loved it. I thought it was one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time. And obviously, I'm not the only one, considering that it has made a lot of money. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars on a $35 million budget. So, it is what it is, I guess, right? No pun intended. So, if you really enjoyed this film, or really enjoyed this video, and you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want to do so you can see me again. All right. Thank you.